So Rory, what was your favourite bit to film in the documentary? What's your favourite scene?
Panti and another giant drag queen are standing in the kitchen of my parents' house in Ballinrobe, County Mayo, with my dad. And Panti says something like, "Oh, who'd have thought? We'd be standing with two giant drag queens in our kitchen in Ballinrobe." And my dad kind of goes, "They're not exactly used to queens in Ballinrobe." I just love that.
What's your favourite scene?
Probably the moment where Panti is walking in the drizzle with Mammy and Daddy down the street in Abbey Street in Ballinrobe towards the giant tent that they put up in the car park of the local tire business, where they were all going to celebrate Panti, and Panti being the gayest thing in the world.
Why do you think your performance in Ballinrobe was so nerve-wracking? Like, it seemed like you were very nervous.
I suspect that every, gay or lesbian kid, or anybody who was a gay or lesbian kid, will understand that I always felt a little weird in my hometown. Like, I never felt like I exactly fit in, even though everybody's lovely in Ballinrobe and it's a great town, but I didn't feel that comfortable. And then as I was sort of a little older, I was all about trying to get almost as far away as possible in some ways, which isn't fair in Ballinrobe because it was all about me, really. So to then go back all those years later to do a show dressed as the gayest thing in the world, where the whole town is coming out to this marquee that they've put up, in a sense to celebrate the very thing about you that made you feel uncomfortable in the first place. And especially because it was a week after the referendum. And they had the little rainbow flags up, and it was just so lovely. But it was very, nerve-wracking.
Did you find it kind of difficult revealing, like, the Rory O'Neill behind Panti in those really candid scenes, you talk about HIV? Was that difficult for you to do?
I don't know, difficult, but a little uncomfortable. Not because of the questions. I'm very used to talking about those things. I'd always prefer to be doing these things this way, because this has been designed to be a public thing. And this, I always feel a little, I'm just a bloke sitting here in a jumper. There's something, it's hard to explain.
Like, you describe Panti as a big cartoon woman. So is that kind of easier for you to deal with the public in that persona?
Yeah, definitely. I think anybody, people use different things as sort of masks. I'm sure a policeman in his uniform deals with the public better than if he was just standing in a t-shirt. And it's kind of the same, it's the superhero outfit. You put on all this thing and you're a bolder, better version of yourself.
And Conor, what would be the overall kind of message that you wanted to portray with the documentary?
I think people will get various things out of the film, and my particular take on it is something that I think that would be clear to most people that see the film. But I'm not using Panti as a giant theatrical device to hammer home my own point. I'm using, in some ways, the film as kind of celebrating the best of Panti and the best of the Irish people as a frame around Panti, and showing how things have changed.